Welcome to our very special Independence Day Vets Cars and Jesus special. Behind me, I got the Vets Cars and Jesus truck, the official one. Super excited, but we're gonna get to that soon. But today we brought a whole bunch of different cars. We got some Jeeps, we got some Mustangs, we got a truck, we have an AMC, American Classic, not the movie theater. But hey, today I'm bringing back a very special friend of mine, Andy Wagner, US Air Force retired, and I also asked him to bring a really cool car for the video. Let's go ahead and see what this guy has. I told him to bring something cool, so he better have done it. So let's see. Oh my. Bro. What is this?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's this?
Dude, this is my car. What are you talking about?
I told you to bring something for our Independence Day special.
Yeah, so I brought some German engineering. What's wrong with that?
They lost the war.
I guess that's right.
You know what? It's all good, dude, because I brought enough cars for both of us. Okay. And to have some fun.
All right.
So let's get this. Let's do this. Just go. Just go to the walk of shame. So here we go. We're gonna get started. Oh my gosh. My VW.
What?
That's just playing. All right. So hey, we got some cars here today that we're going to talk about real quick before we get into our cruise, where we're going to take a couple of these out and have some fun, give you guys a real review. And we actually have something special we want to share with you guys today as well. Just some insights and everything else that my man here, being a 20-year veteran of the US Air Force, has, and me being a 20-year fan of the Air Force has. But hey, we're going to go ahead and start first with this awesome 2021 Jeep Wrangler Sport. Trail rated, everything else. Andy, what's up with this car? Tell us about this.
So that's pretty sweet. Jeep's gone a long way in the last several years. This one here has a 2-liter 4-cylinder, but don't let that fool you. It puts out 270 horsepower with the turbo in there. It gets decent gas mileage too. Actually, it gets better gas mileage than our Tiguan you saw a little bit ago. Don't tell my wife. But yeah, man, you got 4-wheel drive in this. You know, it's got all the bells and whistles that Jeeps come with. So you know, you can't find a better off-road vehicle, and it'll get up and go.
Well, here. So, how many conflicts and wars has this thing been in?
Well, this specific one, probably not much, but I know what you're getting at. Jeeps have been used for years, man. You know, you watch any of the good, you know, like even Vietnam movies, they show like Good Morning Vietnam. You know, you see the guys in the Jeeps all the time. Jeeps were used in World War I, World War II. Jeep is an American icon, and it has supported our troops for many years.
Man, I love this car, and it rides really well.
Yeah.
And I mean, it has cool little Jeep emblems. It's like a whole fan club. When you have a Jeep,
yeah,
you're basically in a club.
Yeah.
And people always do the wave. I don't understand that. I don't drive a Jeep. But hey, when we're in this, I guess we're gonna have to wave to people.
I guess.
So we're gonna go over here to this awesome AMC Classic that one of our huge sponsors has so graciously allowed us to use, being that it's been in my house for 6 months.
This isn't one of those killer Hornets, is it?
No, this is a 77 AMC Sportabout Wagon Hornet. This thing was made by AMC. They started in 1954 and they went to about the mid 80s. This thing has an inline 6-cylinder. I think it's a 232.
Yeah.
This one has seen better days, but it's still kicking. The craziest thing about it has no dashboard. It's falling apart, but the thing still runs. The only thing that's given out on it is the gas lines, believe it or not. No mirrors, no nothing, but hey, this thing still kicks it, and it made it across the United States. So I can't knock it too much because it's awesome. But AMC has put out some of the coolest cars. AMC has put out the Javelin, the Hornet, the Gremlin, and a whole bunch of others that, even a Jeep.
Yep.
AMC made Jeeps for a while as well.
They did.
So AMC is just, it's one of those cool classics you don't see around too much more. So it's kind of cool to have one here, even though it's a little bit rare. I know he's planning on not fixing it up, but just fixing up the motor. So this thing is pretty awesome.
Yeah, American icon, and even American Motor Company. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
how do you get more American than that?
I mean, you could go with, Ford. They've been around since 1925.
Oh, good call.
A little bit longer than this one. No, sorry. Ford's been around since 1903, not 1925. So, a lot longer than this. Why don't you tell us about this Mustang here, man?
All right, so I'm a big fan of this Mustang. So when this one was coming out, I was a little bit irritated because the Mustang, it's the pony car. Back in the day when it came out, it was supposed to be an affordable muscle car, and they instead put a 4-cylinder in this thing. And I was ticked off. I'm like, how are you going to put a 4-cylinder in a pony car? I tell you what, man, this thing scoots. So you got the Ford EcoBoost. It's got over 300 horsepower in there. Over 300 pounds of torque. It'll get up and go. It sounds amazing. You put it in track mode, it growls like something else.
I had to actually look because I'm ashamed to say this, but I thought it did not have the 4-cylinder because it had a growl. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty amazed by the fact that it had that growl.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really cool way to use a 4-cylinder, gas mileage. However, you got the power of 300 horsepower, and who better to bring it to us than Ford, who was the only of the top 3 that climbed out of the financial issue several years ago.
And crazy thing about this is it still has line lock for when you want to go drag race.
Yes,
a 4-cylinder that will take some of these V8s out there, which is hilarious.
Awesome.
Which car do you have that has a line lock that's a 4-cylinder?
I know it. That's awesome.
But hey, we're gonna go over here now to this Chrysler 300. So Chrysler's been around since 1925, and the crazy thing about this car is this is the 2020 Chrysler 300, and it still screams luxury, and it has an aggressive stance and power. Yeah. The crazy thing about this, it has 292 horsepower that's putting out over 300 foot-pounds of torque in a V6, which we were talking earlier. Our fathers would have loved to have this much power just bone stock when they were growing up.
Oh yeah, this is more power than a Z28, back in 95.
Yeah, Z28 Camaro is pumping out more power than that. It has luxury, it's comfortable, and it's quick. We actually took this exact one down the tail of the Dragon. If you guys don't know, it's 318 turns in 11 miles, and this thing ate up that track, that road. It has all-wheel drive and it allows you just to be really aggressive. With the traction control off, it still pulled the turns like it was nothing, and I could not believe it handled this well. This actually handled better than an Audi A3 that we took out there last year. So this is actually a pretty cool car, and it pushes nicely. But the last car we're going to talk about is America's #1 selling truck and the official DS Ministries truck. We just had this fresh wrap put on, donated by Alpha to Omega Group. They donated the wrap to us so we can have it in style when we have to go pick up our new project cars that we're going to be giving away.
Oh yeah.
This thing puts out, this is actually an EcoBoost as well.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bigger than the Ford.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bigger than the Ford. It puts out, let's see, with the cold air intake and the modifications we have, it's putting around, right around 380 horsepower.
Jeez.
And about 430 foot-pounds of torque.
Man, that's more than my Hemi.
This is the crazy thing about this truck. It also has a towing rating over 10,000 pounds.
Wow, really?
So
in a V6?
In a V6, it has the twin turbo,
yeah,
but it has the highest towing capacity of any 1500, F-150s or anything else.
Wow.
This thing, the most room you ever have in the back with a flat roll. This is one of my favorite things about it.
You fit a lot of cameras in there.
I could sit back here with the thing fully, with the seats fully back, and still have leg room.
That's awesome.
So they thought of everything when they put this truck together. And it's, like I said, it's America's #1 selling truck. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And that's why we picked it for this one, because it's just the most dependable truck.
Dude.
Sorry, Chevy guys.
But I mean, Ford. When anybody thinks about the beginnings of automobiles, they think of Henry Ford, and what a better thing, you know, to support our veterans. You know, a dependable truck like this. That's
very
awesome.
Dependable. So this thing, it just goes, and I love it. And that's why we have the wrap on here. We're trying to advertise it in style and be able to have some fun. So hey, now we get to take these. We're going to take these two cars out, the Mustang and the Jeep.
Oh yeah.
Which one are we taking first?
I'm taking a Mustang.
Dude, man. Whatever, dude. I guess you can drive.
Ah, listen to that.
Give it a little gas.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, man. So we're in here, man. I like this car. When we did the interview with Ken, flashback footage right here. That was the 5.0 Coyote, which is awesome. We gotta go that way. 5.0 Coyote, which was awesome. But this turbo, like this EcoBoost, just hits a little different.
Love the sound, man.
I mean, it doesn't disappoint.
Oh.
But oh man, so hey, since it's an Independence Day special, let's ask some cool questions. Like I think on this ride we'll save one of them for the thing. But let's ask what's the #1 historical military guy that impacted you the most, or like you think's the coolest? Like who is it? Like what person in your 20 years of service just means the most to you?
That's a really good question, man. And that is a hard question that is a hard question to answer, because there's so many people. But you know, somebody I was thinking about the other day, like I just think about this guy the other day. It's funny, when I was testing for my first NCO stripe, I had to study Air Force doctrine and Air Force history, and one of the guys I studied about really impressed me. His name was Eugene Bullard. He was the first black American pilot, military pilot. And so this guy was just incredible, had incredible skill and intuition, but the U.S. military at the time wouldn't let him pilot an aircraft in the military because of the way things were with race back then. Yeah. And so instead of just saying, well, you guys aren't going to help me, then I'm not going to help you, he went and fought for the French, who were our allies, and still assisted us during that time of war. Still assisted our country, basically, by assisting our ally. And to prove his skill, he raced in a thing called the French Escadrille, which is like the top aces of France flying over there, and he won. What? Showing, so an American beat all of those French pilots, and he was the first black American.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. So he inspires me because he didn't give up, even when the entire world, it felt like, was against him. His own people were against him. He still did what he thought was right, and he believed in himself, and he believed in the purpose of freedom enough to fight for it, even when his own country wouldn't get behind him.
So when he was being oppressed and told he couldn't, he was like, no, I'm still gonna do it. That's really cool. That just shows like how much our country meant to him, even though it was in that situation. I mean, he knew like this Nazi regime was like bad.
Yeah.
He knew that it was not going to end well if they won. He wanted to contribute. That's freaking awesome.
And you got anybody?
Man, I always flop around on my historical ones because on our TikTok channel, I get to learn so much about different guys. I mean, some of my favorite ones are on there, like we just did, Lieutenant Michael Murphy. I mean, he's more modern. Mm-hmm. We did like Audie Murphy. We've done a bunch, so it's hard for me to actually sit down. But one of those stories that sticks out the most to me in American history is honestly it's World War II. Also, it was patent, but not patent for the reasons why most people think.
Yeah,
it's more because of the Ghost Army. Like basically, it was pretty cool because we had to do something to stop the Nazi event. We had to do something.
Yeah.
And they set up like this inflatable, I don't know if you would say it's patent. It's more that ingenuity behind it. I mean, the fact that he was there showed Germany that we were serious. Like there was going to be something there, because why would you put that dude there for nothing? You know, it was like, okay, this dude's coming. That means they're going to attack here. If you guys haven't looked it up, like basically what happened is the U.S. we set up a whole inflatable tanks, jeeps, planes, like balloons, literally, these guys were moving around. Like one guy was moving a whole tank by himself, and they stationed these guys. They made it look like the Americans were gonna go attack from there. So Germany prepped and was getting ready for an attack there, when in reality we were going to attack a different place, and allowed the Allies to go in and just pretty much curb stomp them.
Yes, exactly.
And just kind of catch them by surprise. I think today, we have one of the strongest militaries in the world, in the wars that we fought recently. We have, casualties, but we were to go straight up, power to power. You take guerrilla warfare, all that stuff out, insurgencies and hiding behind civilians. You take all that stuff out, we would dominate everybody. I mean, we still do. But back then, the axis of evil, they were not weak.
No, and we took it seriously that they weren't weak. But also, you mentioned that ingenuity that I really like that you mentioned that, because if you look at the history of American wars, and even going back to the Revolutionary War, here we are, a bunch of colonists, going up against the world's greatest military at that time, and we won. because, you know, we used ingenuity. We got a hold of some of the tactics from some of the Native Americans, and, you know, learned some guerrilla warfare, and learned some
the wind talkers, like, right?
Yeah,
like, that we're using the Navajo language as code.
Dude, how cool is that?
So freaking cool. We're in the Jeep now. Now I get to drive a 4-cylinder turbo.
Doesn't sound as cool. Man, I tell you what though.
But you know what I can do? I can run over this bush.
That you can. And your wife will probably come and have your head. And I will escape in the Mustang.
Alright, so this is cool. So Jeep's been around since the 1940s. I think it was 41. And this thing is just, Jeep has always produced awesome vehicles. So like, you look at the Mustang's cool and all. I like the Mustang. It's fast. But the Jeep you can run over everything. And it's funny because we had a conversation about the Range Rover. Remember, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you take this into what you're doing? So Ken Mahoy actually said, that the Mustang would do really well for what he does. But let's face it, when it comes to would you take a Jeep into battle, would you take a Jeep into battle?
Dude, not only has history proven that they are worthy for that, they've only gotten better since. You got 270 horsepower in an economically, you know, not like I'm worried about money if I'm in the war zone, but Uncle Sam is, and you know, you want to be able to go a decent distance on a tank if you need to.
Oh look, there's a car coming really quick. Oh look, this thing just goes.
Dude, that puts you back, man.
I'm not gonna lie, it feels really weird to have that much acceleration out of a Jeep.
I know.
Like it's like a driving brick.
Dude, so I know driving it, you don't feel the G-force as much as being a passenger, but that felt like it had more torque than the Mustang. I don't know if it does, and it may not. I hate saying it.
Why don't we go ahead and just do this right here? Here's the Mustang torque. Here's the Jeep torque.
Ha!
I don't know what it is. We'll find out soon. In post-production.
Nice.
No, so I mean, this thing, it handles really well. Like, I've driven like a old 80s Jeep Wrangler, or not Wrangler, Cherokee, just a straight Cherokee, the Grand Cherokee. I'm not gonna lie, Jeep, if you're watching this, you just need to cut it out with the Grand Cherokee. I think it's a piece of garbage.
Jeep, don't listen to him, because your Trackhawk with the Hellcat engine in it is incredible. Okay. But other than that, you can get rid of it.
Yeah, so I used to work for a Chrysler dealership, and we had Jeep there. I will say this about it. The one thing I consistently see of the used Jeeps coming in, the Jeep Wranglers, not the Jeep Wranglers, sorry, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Grand Cherokee was consistently, oh, I just got waved at by a Jeep person. I didn't wave back. I'm a total jerk. I forgot.
That just happened?
That just happened.
Dude. Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we had that Mustang 5.0 that came up to us earlier. And he's flexing on us with his Coyote engine. And, you know, I rolled my window down. I was going to be like, hey, you know, nice car. And he's just sitting there, totally ignoring us, wanting to smoke us. And you know, so I was like, man, that's not a brotherhood of cars. You get in this Jeep, we go a quarter mile down the road, somebody else in a Jeep is like, hey, what's up?
Oh yeah,
I thought that was just in the commercials.
There is one brotherhood though in Lyco's Mustang, and that's called crowd control.
Yes, there is.
Roll the footage.
Oh man, glad I'm not in that crowd.
But here's the thing. So Jeep, like, actually has a brotherhood, as we just saw. This guy strapped away. But I mean, it consistently does well. Like the Jeep from 1975. Here, wait, here goes another one. See, oh, she didn't wave. That's messed up. Oh no, wait, she turned and looked at us and smiled.
She probably, yeah, okay. Yeah.
She was like this. You guys can't see that in the camera because I don't have that good of a camera angle. But like a Jeep in 1975, you can tell it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
A Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it, oh no, sorry, backtrack. Problem I had with the Jeep Grand Cherokee was everyone that was a couple years old would come in and everything on that Jeep's falling apart. It just falls apart. And I'm like, yeah. But like on the Jeep Wrangler though, a Jeep from 1979 is still, you can still see it's a Jeep.
Yep.
You know it's a Wrangler.
Yep.
You know you're gonna have fun in it.
Yeah.
You know you can go off-road. And you know that you're part of this fun brotherhood that everybody says is there.
Yeah.
But on the offside, like, the Jeep looks the exact same since like World War II.
It does, and I kind of respect that in a way because it, you know, a lot of these different car designs change. For example, a lot of people, now don't get me wrong, the C8 Corvette is amazing looking car.
Me and the Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
Ferrari.
my point. You know, now, you know, it's incredible performance, all that fun stuff, but it doesn't have that soul feeling of a Corvette when you look at it, because it's not that front engine rear wheel drive muscle car that used to be. It's a supercar now.
All right, so we did a favorite historical. Let's go to more favorite modern, or not favorite modern. Yeah, we can say favorite modern, most influential modern.
Yeah.
Something by means the most like military person that has made headlines in the last, let's say, 30 years.
Okay.
We'll do since 1990, so about 30 years.
Since 1930 years. All right, let's see here.
He could, doesn't have to be nobody famous. It could be, dude, Sergeant.
Wait, you said makes,
Joe Bob.
Makes hit headlines, so not necessarily.
Oh, he doesn't
truly
have to make headlines,
but somebody
it's like
who,
somebody that meant something to you.
to me for whatever
reason.
purpose. Okay, so I understand that, and in my 20 years of service, I've served with a lot of incredible people. Some.
Sorry.
I know. He's having so much fun over here, man. It's so cute.
What's up? I have friends now.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Yeah, my Mustang buddies are all jerks, apparently. No offense. I hope you guys aren't. I know Imperial Beach Dad, you're cool. And anybody else with the Mustang
Bailey,
is cool.
You're cool, I guess.
I guess
say
so.
you're cool, Bailey.
Anyway, so I digress. The person I'm going to speak about he was a commander of mine in the emergency department at Wright-Patterson, and he was also one of our doctors. He began his military career in the Marines. He was a sniper for 12 years.
Ooh.
And
Wait, so Marine Corps sniper?
Marine Corps sniper.
Got
Yep.
it. Gosh dang.
The real deal, you know. And he was enlisted. You know, he started at the bottom and worked his way up. Served for 12 years. After his service there, he wanted to switch roles, and instead of taking on that combat persona, if you will, he decided he wanted to bring healing, and just went to medical school and became a doctor. You know, he's one of these guys that's stealing all the cool. It's like, okay, I was a Marine sniper out in the bush, now I'm this emergency room doctor. He is actually the lead toxicologist in our area back home in Ohio, and an incredible guy, you know. So this guy has got all this experience, he's got all this knowledge, very intelligent person, and he would always take time to talk to his people. He would sit down, especially with the enlisted. He had a soft spot for the enlisted because that's where he grew up. I know you're going straight in as an officer. Can I say that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Trying to.
I know you're trying to go in as an officer to be a chaplain. We need chaplains. You should always respect your enlisted.
Oh yeah.
I gotta speak for the NCOs out there. Anyway, so his name is Dr. Burns. I don't know if he'd want me to say his whole name on here, so I'll just leave it at that.
Gotcha.
Dr. Burns, and he was.
Oh, there's the road. Sorry.
Probably, yeah. I hesitated out of fear for my life, but I'm back now, so. Wasn't as bad as jumping the tracks in the Nova back in the 90s.
I wish I could say roll the footage for that. The only people that were watching were Amish.
Yeah, and they didn't want cameras. Well, and obviously God was watching because we didn't die, so thank you, Lord. So anyway, Dr. Burns.
That's a whole other kind of cloud drive. So I couldn't resist it.
So, Dr. Burns, incredible mentor. He is probably the greatest mentor in my military career. And I've had a lot of them, and a lot of great leaders. But this man would take time to sit down and talk to you on a personal level, and to know you and your family, you know, and not just me, not just another person, all of his troops, his officers and his enlisted. He would take time out of his day to have leadership classes, and he would teach us about being an effective and the right kind of leader that the military needs, that the world needs, and as a kind of leader that sacrifices a lot for their people. He led by example. At one point in my career, I was really struggling with my PT. I didn't know at the time, but I had acquired asthma from my time spent in Iraq, and it had grown over the years. It had caught up with me. I was having a hard time breathing, and I was in the process of getting diagnosed for that, but was struggling with my runs. Well, Dr. Burns, here he is, an ER doctor, active duty. He's a doctor in the local area with other hospitals on the civilian side, and he spent a lot of time going over to Ukraine and other places to teach them American military medicine. He took time in the mornings before he did anything else to show up at the gym with me and to motivate me to run and to help me. And he's the guy who noticed my breathing and got me in to see a pulmonologist, which actually ended up saving my career, because he cared enough to tell me, look, there's something wrong here. You need to go see a doctor, and you know, who specializes in this. He wouldn't have seen that if he was just in it for himself, you know.
Yeah.
This guy took care of his people, and he was the most influential military leader by far. Dr. Burns changed my life.
That was awesome.
Yeah, man.
I like that guy. I didn't know him before, that's why.
I would love for you to meet him. He'd love you.
Okay, Dr. Burns, you watching this? I really would like to meet you, because that's awesome.
And he's going to see it. I'm going to send it to him.
Oh, in that case, yeah, definitely. Awesome guy. So I mean, so I'm picking two because I'm hosting, so deal. So it's Chris Kyle, but not because he killed 100, I think it's 140 something people.
Yeah.
Like the most effective U.S. sniper ever. No,
yeah.
I'm not picking him because of what he did. I'm picking him because of the way he lived afterwards.
Yeah.
He, you know, I'm not talking about his company or this book or anything else like that. I'm talking about the fact that there was a guy that was suffering, and he went to help him, and it cost him his life.
Yeah.
But he was willing to put himself out there for that.
Yeah.
Anybody that does that is willing to put themselves out for the betterment of their brothers,
Yeah.
like others.
Yeah.
Like, I automatically has my respect. So, so one was Chris Kyle. The other one, oh man. See, now I got picked because you know what I'm saying. Oh man. So just so you guys know, I've never been here, so I'm a little lost.
I think it's Rivendell.
I was wondering where that's at.
There's Archie.
Oh, I was thinking more Lord of the Rings. I'm a nerd.
Rivendell. Wait, maybe you're right. I don't know.
That's Riverdale.
Rivendell.
Archie.
Yeah, you're right. Rivendell is Lord of the Rings. All right.
Yes. So no.
Okay. Anyway.
So I think I have to say the one that I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about is Jocko Willink. And it's not because like this dude's one of the most famous guys, like writing books and everything else.
Yeah.
But the fact that that Jocko comes out, and I was in the beginning when they started, like, his company's called Echelon Front, right?
Yeah.
So Echelon Front, they had a way of they had their leadership stuff, and they had this Echelon Front Online, EF Online, which was really cool because what ended up happening with EF Online was you actually got to get on a Zoom call with Jocko and the rest of them.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like I got to actually sit there and kind of see who the dude was, like see who Jocko is.
Yeah.
And you know, like he's successful in so many different things. But to be perfectly honest, it's the fact that I got to sit on these calls and actually see him like talk to real people suffering from real issues in leadership.
Yeah.
I got to see a guy who was, hey, I'm struggling with my boss because he's telling me to do this stuff, but I can't do it. And he doesn't sugarcoat crap.
Yes.
Like, if he thinks it's your fault, he's like, well, that's because you're screwing up.
Yeah.
And boom, there you go. But he always, it was funny because I never seen him actually get off the Zoom call ever. I've always had to go before him because it'd be over, and he just spends that time over and over and over again to help people, especially when they're like, hey, I'm trying to get into military, I'm getting ready to go in, what are your suggestions on leadership when I get in? And then he would go off and talk to him about it and just push them and help them. So it's not even because Jocko's a Navy SEAL. I mean, that's cool and all.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that he's willing to take that time. And yeah, he's getting paid for it. Like, it's his company.
Yeah.
But I've seen other people that get paid for stuff.
Oh, he could have done a lot of things
and just
be
done. Like, hey,
yeah,
I'm on here from 2 p.m. to 3. After that, I'm out. Bye.
Right.
And barely answer any questions because he has team members on those calls, right?
Yeah.
Like, he can just, here, you go over here and take it. It's like, he doesn't have to do it, but he does. He chooses to do it. He chooses to be available to people. And to me, like, when you see a person that's available to do it, especially a guy that's famous, that people know, like, the Jocko Willard podcast. I mean, I just bought a Jocko energy drink, which, by the way, holy crap, I'm not gonna lie, Jocko, you ever see this, which I doubt you will, but if you do, I almost didn't drink it because I wasn't expecting the taste. Because, I mean, honestly, after you get through a couple sips, it starts to taste okay. So I was like, oh my gosh, dude.
It's got a lot of flavors.
No, it wasn't sweet. I was expecting sweet, like, energy. Like, you grab a Monster, you grab a Red Bull, you grab a Celsius like that, like, you're like, oh, this is sweet.
Slaps you in the face and calls you ugly, huh?
But this one's like, man up.
Yes.
But holy crap, I was doing personal training that day, and my clients hated me. They absolutely hate. I was jumping around, bouncing. I had so much dang energy drink. I had to actually start working out with some of them because I had so much. I'm like, okay, take a break. Okay, I was like, yeah, let's do this.
Get off that bench.
So, but I mean, like, the dude's successful, but he still takes those moments, and he's still real, and he still takes the time when he doesn't even have to be on those Zoom calls.
Yeah.
He can literally just say, I'm done, I'm out. Like, you guys handle this, to his team. But he does. He absolutely gets on those calls and helps other people. So I look for people that are, like, humble enough to still be there for people, even when they made it.
And one thing that you mentioned that I really like is, there's this movie, The Patriot, that Mel Gibson's in.
Oh, yeah,
and it's such a great movie. And they make a really strong point to show that he is the first one off that helicopter when they land, and then he is the last one back on it.
That's not The Patriot.
Oh, no, that's right. It's not The Patriot. That was We Are Soldiers. I'm sorry. Same actor, though.
I was like, dude, they did not have. I know this is an Independence Day special.
Yeah.
But they didn't have helicopters there then.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's why the Revolutionary War was a little harder. Anyway, so
because they didn't have
helicopters. Touche. Anyway, my point was, he was a good leader. Put himself in danger first. He said, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And then we're going to do this until the job's done. And once all of his men are on that chopper, then he's ready to get back on.
Oh,
and, here's this guy who he's no longer in the military serving, but he is still serving people by helping to spread the knowledge and the gift that God has given him as a leader to others. And he stays on that call until everybody's gone.
Well, I don't know if it's everybody. I know he's staying longer than me. I can't wait that long.
Well, when do you get off? What?
Well, no, so I always had to leave early. So,
Yeah.
Jock, if you watch this, I'm sorry, man. I had to work.
Anyway, he, he's dedicated to his people.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, he might be the last one off. I don't know.
He might be. You just totally took my thunder. Not only did you choose two dudes, little Honda CRX, that's great. Not a CRX. So not only did you choose two dudes, but now you just took my thunder. All right, I see.
Hey, that's how I roll, bro.
Okay,
That's how I roll.
You're just jealous about the Mustang. It's okay.
Hey. You see how many people are saying what's up to me?
That is true.
I now have like at least 4 new friends.
Oh man, I'm sad.
All right, so guys, we're gonna wrap up this episode of Vets, Cars, and Jesus. It's a little bit longer today. I'm putting this all as one episode because, to be honest, it's the 4th of July. It's Independence Day special. Guys, I want to encourage you right now, as this day progresses and everything else, think about those people that have defended us not only like 250 years ago, but that are still consistently making sure that we have those freedoms that our forefathers, our grandfathers, and our brothers, sisters, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, and everybody else are still fighting for. I think today, more than ever, we lose sight of our freedom because we've grown so accustomed to it.
Yeah.
Every day we see different people. I gotta wait, hold up. There we go. So every day we see people like just kind of sometimes take advantage of it. And this is not what this episode is about to say, hey, those guys are whatever. But the thing is like we do have the freedom to even speak against our freedom, which is kind of weird.
It is, but that's real freedom right there, man.
Yeah, so think about it. Like if you know somebody that is in the military, that's serving or is a veteran of our armed forces that has served, just maybe thank them. It doesn't matter what they've done because they still, like we were talking about a little bit ago, they have still supported us in everything that is needed in the military. So
also, there's a lot of people serving overseas right now, and the families are back home. You know, if you know a military family, just don't forget to thank them for their sacrifice. There's a lot of stress to a family of a service member, and kids going without their parents for long periods of time, spouses being separated, adds a lot of stress, and that's one of the great sacrifices that is fought in silence. And I just want to say thank you to all my brothers and sisters out there right now. Thank you to everybody who served. I'm so grateful for this nation. God bless America.
Yeah. Guys, take it easy. Until next time, we have a really cool episode coming up, Vets, Cars, and Jesus. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to come back and watch it. Just saying. I'm going to be petty today. So, hey guys, take it easy. See you guys soon. And, one more thing. If you guys are interested in the stories of military heroes and everything else, is that dude jumping? The dude's jumping in the water.
There he goes.
Jumped off a bridge.
Man, we used to do
Does
that
he
back
not
in the
know
day.
that there's snapping turtles down there?
No, dude. They gonna find out. They gonna learn today.
But guys, if you guys are interested in more military stories about military heroes, we have a really cool TikTok channel where we do go through these stories, like they're very quick, 1 minute each. And you go through there. It's DS Ministries. It's on TikTok. Check it out. Lots of fun. And until next time, take it easy. Peace out.
Peace and love, man.